Wow. It's not as ridiculous as this. You want to hear some dumb stuff?
Oh, here you go.
Robbie, hit the ID, and then we'll get to this dummy Matt Hasselbeck.
Why are we listening to Matt Hasselbeck?
He's on NFL Live.
Miami Heat game.
Got it! Goran Dragic did the complete 360.
WAXY South Miami and WSFS HD2 Miramar, a radio.com sports station.
I mean, both of those Hasselbecks can kick the sharpest of rocks.
Yeah,
First of all,
his brother was calling the Canes game.
His brother called the Canes game this week and is like, offended that there's the most obvious pass interference is called pass interference. So clear that he had money on Virginia because he's like, I don't see the pass interference. Meanwhile, the dude basically suplexed.
It was Pope.
I was just like, what? What do you mean that's not pass interference? What are you talking about, Hasselbeck? And that was the terrible Hasselbeck. So then they get to the actual Hasselbeck with talent. It has one of the most infamous gasps before an overtime of all time. We're going to get the ball. We're going to score. All right. Well,
he threw a pick six.
Yeah. And so he gets up there and, he's the quarterback on the show, closer to being the old vet than he is being the prime guy that he used to be. And so what does he do? He gets up there and he starts flapping his gums and he's like, oh, well, I think this is going to be a problem. Like, first of all, he blatantly comes out and says, this isn't Brian Flores' decision. He thinks this is a decision from ownership. And then is saying this is going to cause a rift in the locker room. And I'm just like, well, where do you get off saying that? You just going to so you've read nothing about the decision because there's been reporting that says this wasn't Stephen Ross's decision, that this was completely a coach's and GM's decision. But you decide, let me put on my little conspiracy hat. And then you're going to be like, oh, I automatically assume this is going to be a problem in the locker room when you don't know that.
Well, yeah, I said the same. I said similar thing, but I kind of said it differently in that when you're a coach and you come into a new organization, right? And one of the first things a new coach will tell you is everybody has to earn it, right? It's just interesting to me how moments like this, when everybody knows this was what was going to happen, okay, how this is going to play out when it happens now, right? And to me, it could all be settled by the coaches saying, look, this was the plan all along. I don't want anybody to think that, Fitz did anything wrong. This was the plan before the season started, and we're sticking with our plan. And I think that because they trust Flores and because they think, they respect him based on what he's done, that he'll be able to explain it, in a way that nobody, the locker room won't be lost. But, when your first message, usually with a new coach, is that everybody got to earn it, and then have a situation like this, I could see where he's coming from, but that's an outsider looking in. I mean, he wouldn't know anything about Flores if Flores came and had a conversation with him. We've heard this guy talk every week, so it's a little bit different.
Well, let's hear from Matt Hasselbeck, who decided to whiz on the Dolphins parade this week.
I think this is mismanaged in a big way, and they're caught off guard because it's probably not a coaching decision. Like, Brian Flores can get up there and say, hey, this is my decision. I made this decision. I just think he's a good, loyal soldier. I have a ton of respect for Brian Flores. This just doesn't smell like a coaching decision to me. Go back to last week, Sam. 24-0, Randy. 24-0 in the game with 8 minutes to go in the game. Does Tua come in? No. Ryan Fitzpatrick stays in the game. They put Tua in with 2 minutes to go. If he was really this close and this ready, and you were really expecting for him to be your starter next week and every week after that, you would have gotten him in there with 24-0, right, with 8.5 minutes to go in the game. And let's talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick. They're 3-1 in their last 4 games. Ryan Fitzpatrick is 7th in QBR in the entire NFL. Since week 3, he's number 1 in the NFL in QBR. So to me, I think you've done a huge disservice, obviously to Ryan Fitzpatrick, but to Tua. Let Tua, when the Dolphins lose a game, You can pin that loss on Ryan Fitzpatrick, or maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick gets hurt on the field. Let Tua come out there and be the hero. Instead, what has happened is now I think that locker room kind of resents that Tua was just sort of given this job. And so whoever made this decision, I believe this decision goes above the head coach. Yeah. Whoever made this decision, I think, doesn't quite understand that the loyalty in the locker room, it's not to the logo on the side of your helmet as much as it is to the heart and soul of your team. And on this team, so far this year, it's been Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes,
so I think it's a disservice to everybody.
All right, I'll break it down because you're going to do silly talk.
I'm not doing silly talk. I think he did the silly talk.
Here's what I'll say where an outsider looking in, right, doesn't get the full picture. Because one of the things that, although he says, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the heart and soul and the beat of that team, you have to understand that one of the reasons why I think he's replaced is because of the opportunities down the field. And having a quarterback that can get it there will keep your wide receivers engaged. The other thing is that for the most part, everybody on that team has had nothing but good things to say about Tua.
Yep.
They all love him. So that makes that transition also a little bit smoother. Plus, there's nobody in that locker room that did not know that eventually this was going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
Let me finish. It doesn't normally happen after 2 wins. That's what's throwing everybody off. That's it.
But that's why I feel like when they say, "Oh, this is going to lose the locker room," like, can we give the players a little bit more credit? You don't think that they know that they play with a guy who's going to be the face of the franchise? Like, they know Leroy.
Oh,
okay, they're not idiots who are just like,
hey, man,
but Fitz is the guy. Like, week to week, we're going to go in the situation.
Hold on. Like, this little dream world you live in is nonsense.
It's not a dream world. I'm living in reality.
I'm telling you from a player's perspective. But you still say I'm wrong.
I didn't say you were wrong.
I'm telling you now, all the players care about is winning. Okay? I don't care about the future. I don't care about the damn past. I care about we are winning right now.
Didn't say that, though.
That's what the players care about.
But so did they not know?
Wait, hold on. So if you do anything to upset the apple cart, it better result in wins. That's what the players are thinking right now. If you change anything after you've been winning, okay, then it better keep it going. If it doesn't, I don't have time for your future. I might not be in your future. So why would I give a rat's ass about 3 years from now when I'm trying to win right now? That's a player's perspective. Now, we will accept the change. We understand what the future is. But it's about now.
Okay, and again, I don't disagree with you on that. I know that's how players think. However, I think that we also do a big disservice to players to not give them the credit to realize, in this case, this guy is the face of the franchise. He's not just a guy. He is, Leroy. I'm sorry.
That's your future. Okay? If everything's rolling right now, right? To change. Look, coaches, players, every sport that you've ever heard about or followed, everybody's a creature of habit. Right? Most sports, creatures of habit. So when you go into a situation, right, and you're winning, most players don't want to change it, even though they understand what's going on. But for you to say they understand Tua is the future, nobody cares about that. They care about winning right now. So if Tua can come in, and I told you why they probably replaced Fitzpatrick with Tua, okay? I understand football enough to understand why the change is happening. But it has nothing to do with, he's going to be the face of the franchise. You got 40 guys in that locker room don't give a damn about that. All they care about is winning.
Leroy, we cannot sit here and act like that position and where he is picked doesn't have a different level of treatment than Von Ginkel or anybody else in the locker room. There's still that. Okay, but I am, and to think that these guys don't know that is silly talk.
Okay, but for you, no. What you're saying is these players need to understand that Tua is the future.
I'm not saying they have to understand it. I'm saying they do.
Nobody in that locker room cares.
Okay.
They want to win. Why would I care about your future 3 years from now or 2 years from now? Why would I care? Because guess what? If I'm a running back, right? This is the honest truth. If I'm a running back and I'm in my 5th or 6th year, right? And then you put a quarter in to get his feet wet or to whatever, and we start losing games, that could impact what you think of me.
Great, cool story. Except the running back who has 5 and 6 years, they've healthy scratched him for 2 straight weeks when Fitzpatrick was.
I'm saying they're running. I'm not saying that
okay,
guy.
But honestly, Leroy, most of their team is young, and that's the thing. Is like just because it's football and it's week to week and all that type of stuff, they're also at a position where, hey, this whole thing was supposed to be a rebuild.
All right, I'm like to sit here and have a. Look. I'm telling you exactly how it is.
But who are the guys that you're talking?
You don't care because you want Tua to play.
It's so not that. First of all, it has nothing to do with me wanting Tua to play. Most of the team, most of the Dolphins are young. Okay? And it's a plan of them developing together. And whether they like it or not, most of them, they're going to sink or swim with that guy being their quarterback. Not 4 more weeks of Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Sorry. Like that's
I've never like I'm telling you, that's you're not accurate. All players, I don't care if you're young, old, or indifferent, all you care about is winning. And although you are a professional, okay, you don't want to change what is working. Maybe not to the level you wanted to, but if we won our last 2 games and we won them in convincing fashion, right? Now we want to take a chance and hope it works out. Because, in the end, although I do believe that the Dolphins always had this plan, and believe it or not, it would have been better if they were 1-5, because everybody would accept it a little bit more and the team would accept it a little bit more, but you're not. Okay?
But hold on. But can I tell you something that's silly about this? Can I tell you what's silly about this?
What's silly about it?
If Tua comes out this week, if he comes out and he balls out, forgotten.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's so stupid.
No, it's not.
That's so dumb.
No, it's not.
That's so stupid.
Dude,
he just needs to come out and have one good week.
As a player, I don't care about your future. I'm trying to get mine right now.
Okay.
So is every other guy.
But do you see how silly that is not to see the vision of that? Like it's a week-to-week thing.
If it works out, fine. But from the standpoint of right now, okay, as a player, and as a team in that locker room, you go, we've been winning. Why are we changing?
Why are we changing? We got that win against the worst team in football.
No, it does. There you go. All right.
Robbie, hit us with some headlines from our sports desk.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to need some Modelo Especial after that one. Because it is the perfect beer for the home tailgate. And it is brewed with the fighting spirit. Oh, and we got to do weather reports now. Exogen, well, I'm turning into Solana now. The Exogen Weather Center. It is 79 degrees, partly cloudy, and we are about 8 minutes away from actual sunrise.
Well, that's great. I love the sun rising.
I see I see the windows are wet, so it must have rained a little while ago.
A little, Robbie.
Do we live in Seattle? Why does it rain here?
Well, somebody just poured a bucket of water over the state of Florida. And saturated all of Florida.
When did hurricane season extend into November? What is this?
Well, I'm watching the TV now. We got DirecTV here in the studios, and it's crystal clear picture. No choppiness so far. So that's the weather. But yeah, it's been a monsoon. It was raining in the Canes game on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, you could see it. Like you could see it. Like they would be like when they went into halftime, it looked like it was the rest of the game was going to be just a slop fest.
Yep.
Because it was raining pretty hard.
I was worried about the dreaded lightning delay. I'm like, oh my God.
I was too. Especially they felt like that game was crawling along. Especially in the second half.
God.
It was taking time.
Well, that's what happens when you know what also makes a long game? When you have a lot of incomplete passes, running the hurry up. So you have like 8 seconds off the clock and you got to punt. And the clock is stopped.
The Dolphins, they got a win on Sunday. Well, they weren't actually playing, but the Houston Texans lost again. That draft pick, woo!
They suck. They suck.
Hey, man. Like, I mean, who sucks more? The whole state of Texas is pretty bad. Because Dallas, come on.
I mean, Houston's better than Dallas. Just because Dallas is
I mean, they're not, though.
Okay. Okay, but come on.
Did you see
What, he was 25-3 to Washington?
Did you see Sourpuss J.J. Watt yesterday?
No.
Oh, I did see that.
That was great.
What did he do?
He's just like, what happened out there, JJ? Well, they caught the ball that they threw.
They would show him every time.
I'm moving all my attention to TJ.
Yeah, TJ was a monster on Sunday.
Oh my goodness! Like what? Like I've never seen a guy run more free into an offensive backfield than him. He's never blocked.
It's true. Only one Watt can be good at a time, apparently.
I guess.
Oh, I just saw Andy Dalton hit it again.
Oh.
Hey, he did everything but order the check.
Did you see McCarthy? Oh, let's take a break. We're way over. Mike McCarthy got upset with some of his teammates.
You can't say let's take a break and then you keep talking.
But we're way over, so I got to take a break.
Right.
That's why
I'm talking.
Well, no, that's not how radio works. I gotta tease them up.
All right.
Give him a little tickle.
All right. I want to tickle you right on your nose.
Back after this.